I never thought I'd make a part 2 to this video, especially because of what happened last time, but there is something that I'm seeing that drives me up the wall whenever this argument is brought up, which I thought would make a good part 2, but I highly recommend y'all watch part 1, then come back to this one. Also, this was sparked by watching Simple Nix's video on the same subject, so I highly implore you guys to go watch that video as well. With this new argument of, is the furry fandom pay to win, there's this comment I've seen floating around from certain individuals and it drives me up the wall every time I see it. The fandom is pay to win. No one gives a shit unless you got nice art, fursuit numbers, etc. Other than that, no one wants anything to do with you. It's all about clout here. No one cares about you at all. You have to take those extra steps. I cannot tell you how much this angers me, but at the same time, I can't help but feel bad. To get a bit personal, I suffer with social anxiety disorder, so to see other people struggle with something that I go through on the daily makes me feel so fucking bad. Because I know exactly what it feels to feel alone, have no friends, or struggle to make an effort to try and confront your fears. It is so debilitating and exhausting. But let's talk about what angers me about this statement. You need to take those extra steps. Let me introduce you to the term these furries love to talk about, and that is Bootstraps mentality. This mentality is all about self-improvement or to pull themselves up to a better place, and these furries absolutely despise this mentality. From what I've seen, they're angry at the fandom. The fandom has left them behind and not given them what they wanted. So therefore, if I don't have what others have, then that's the problem. Clout, having nice art, fursuits, that is what will bring me what I want. Which is something I get, but at the same time, there's a lot of holes with this. Let's talk about the fursuits and nice art. These are all material items and will always be appreciated for being what they are. Artwork. Unless the artist is to be proven to be a shitty person, or there are furries that separate art from the artist, which is an entirely different argument I can make a whole video about. As I mentioned in my last video, none of this means anything if they know that the artist is bigoted or degenerate with the paraphilia. Then of course they're going to appreciate artwork for what it is. Art. That's what it's made for and its purpose. It is honestly quite ridiculous to get mad at furries for finding appreciation in the work commissioned. Art pieces can only get you so far though. If you are a shitty person, no one will want to associate with you, no matter how expensive or how much nice art you commission. In fact, if you are awful enough, it's a high chance you're blacklisted from these artists anyway. And then there's clout. Clout really has an awful taste for some furries' mouths. You only want attention and clout, therefore you're a horrible human being. When it's a human need to want attention, of course, how you get that attention is up for debate whether or not it's ethical or morally okay, but just having that want always seems to have this negative tone, when people can use their clout in good ways. Uncle Ben said it best, with great power comes great responsibility. Use it wisely, and if you use it to do awful stupid shit, of course people are going to dislike you. Clout is not the be-all and end-all, and it is not a bad thing either. So even with all these factors that get the blame, there's one thing that we're not talking about, and that is forgotten. The algorithm. Which is a gamble. Someone with an amazing setup probably can only rack in 20 views a video with 10 subscribers, and then there could be someone with a mediocre setup that can rack in 1k views per video and with 5k subscribers. It isn't always a matter of material items. But whenever advice is given to these types of furries on how to boost their content through the algorithm means, they complain that's Bootstraps mentality. The thing is, everyone starts at level 1. No one starts off with 1 million subscribers. It's about growing and building your platform. Some things take longer to grow. Maybe you built something wrong and you gotta tweak a few things. Even then, there is no guarantee if your channel will take off or not. In a lot of these cases, a channel taking off can be because of a bit of luck. But by improving your content in ways you can control does have its benefits of getting your content out there and having people stick around. Like choosing your thumbnails or creating your own, fixing your audio bugs, choosing your edits, your scripts, etc. All of these things you can control, like your upload schedule, or even using the shorts feature on YouTube, or tags, or by joining Discord servers of other content creators you enjoy by self-promoting or on other social media. There are plenty of ways of boosting your content. There are all things that can help you with getting your videos out there into the algorithm. But by screaming Bootstraps mentality and refusing to do things to help yourself, you might as well say, let me drown in a puddle of my own tears. By screaming and crying about these things that people appreciate, unless they're created by bad people, and not acknowledging the things you can do to help yourself, just shows the instant gratification these furries may want, even though these things aren't guaranteed by expensive art, fursuits, or clout. None of these things are guaranteed to fill that void that these furries may have. Although I may be projecting here, but furries who complain about this self-improvement mentality may feel like the fandom owes them something. They need to have this, or they want this because XYZ, woe is me. When the fandom literally owes us nothing. What you do here is up to you, and whether or not you get popular or not should not dictate your happiness. If it's the case of making friends, I get it. But all of that applies above. Your impact on the community and how you make other furries feel, that is what sticks with people more than anything. More than the art, fursuits, clout, or numbers. Kiro still has 80k subscribers, but he is still hated by the community. You cannot go to any furry events without someone wanting to kick his teeth in because of his impact on the community. Same thing with Hypnotist Sappho. Again, it's not all about material items. On the other side of this branch, though, there are some furries who clamor that because there are a high number of middle-class furries in the community, prices should be lower for fursuits, or that free fursuits should be given to those in lower classes. I'm not fucking joking. This is an actual thing that I have seen. Because it's unfair that lower class, and because of their lower class ranking, that not being able to afford a fursuit, therefore they get no popularity. May I remind these furries how degrading it is to those lower class, because I can guarantee you, a fursuit is the last thing they want. Instead, basic necessities, and not luxury items, even to become a furry micro-celebrity. That is the last thing that they're thinking of. And this is just another example to show how warped this mindset can be. Honestly, I don't really know what to say even more about this. I honestly do feel for furries in this mindset. There are so many furries with this mindset. I wish there wasn't as many. It makes sense to those with the mindset, but on an outside looking in perspective, I see people who are hurt, and even people who may be socially awkward or socially anxious, and they think they need these things in order for people to talk to them or for people to recognize them, and making an impact on people's lives positively by simple little things is what's gonna make your big splash, make your big impact on the community. It is not a fursuit, it is not great art. Yes, it is something that can bring in a lot of popularity, but even then, it is not something that is always guaranteed. I feel like it's always important and responsible of all of us, not just content creators, but especially content creators. I feel like this is the most people who should be looking at this, is that not all our perspectives are correct, and in fact, there is a lot of times where our things can be warped by our emotions and our experiences. And because of that, we use things like blanket statements, or use wrong words to describe things, to over-exaggerate things like the words cult and parasocial relationships, and to the point where we're creating this fake idea that's not logical. And I see it a lot of the times, especially when I watch these types of videos from these certain types of content creators who do make videos like this, or from people who perpetuate this type of idea, that it always seems like a vent. It doesn't seem logical at all, and it's very upsetting because, like, I understand a lot where they're coming from, but what they're saying just isn't logical. It really isn't. And I don't doubt that there isn't furries who do only care about clout and popularity, but they're nobodies. Because in reality, nobody fucking cares. No one really gives a shit. And if people do, that's not the type of people you want to be hanging around anyway. So, I don't know. It just really frustrates me when there's things that you can do to put yourself in a better position, but they refuse to, because they feel like the fandom owes them something, when the fandom literally owes us nothing. It doesn't. And I feel bad, but, like, what can you do when someone refuses to help themselves? Like, there's nothing really you can do other than push them in the correct direction. But, like the old saying, you could bring a horse to the fountain, but you can't make it drink. So, hopefully I made sense. Hopefully you guys could get where I'm getting at. Even you guys could share your experiences in the comments with people with with this type of mindset or give your own opinions about it. But I just wanted to talk about it just because it really bothers me when I see it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I haven't been making a lot of content as of recently, due to the whole Purple Yin situation was a nightmare and it really put me off making videos. So hopefully I'm back. I'm in my last few weeks of college now. I'm hoping to get a job over the summer because I need money, and I have a few plans that are in the works. One of them is a very personal thing. I'm working on a few videos that are going to be pretty fun. Two of them are very research heavy, so those should be fun. And yeah, I just hope you guys stick around, and yeah, I will be making one of those personal announcements soon. So yeah, I do have a lot of video ideas in the works, so yeah, don't worry, more content's coming. But yeah, one of those personal updates will be out relatively in the next few months. It's going to be quite different from a lot of other things. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.